influence of an aphrodisiac, was being pursued in a deadly chase. He rushed into a hospital, just as Anna was on duty. In a desperate attempt to escape the killers, he kissed Anna, and the two ended up evading the danger. Due to the drug's effects, Luis swore to take responsibility for Anna and, despite her reluctance, forced himself upon her. 2 hours earlier, it was Anna's wedding day. Her husband, whom she had never met, ordered the maid to inform Anna that he wouldn't be coming home that night and forbade her from publicly introducing herself as Luis's wife. Coincidentally, Anna's colleague Bess asked for her to cover the night shift, and out of kindness, Anna left her new home. Anna didn't dare to report the situation, fearing that if the truth about the shift got out, Bess would get into trouble. At that moment, Anna received a call about her mother's serious illness and rushed to leave the hospital. Meanwhile, Bess was feeling disillusioned by Anna's absence. Soon, she encountered Luis, who asked her, "Are you the doctor on shift tonight? If I sleep with you, I will take responsibility." Without much thought, Bess agreed to his proposal and decided to replace Anna. Luis's assistant informed him that the doctor was already at his mansion. After leaving a promise with Bess, Luis left the hospital. Anna arrived at the mansion, blindfolded, and treated Luis's injuries. She wasn't allowed to see the patient's face, but through touching his muscles, she felt a sense of familiarity, and the treatment continued. Meanwhile, Luis's assistant reported that the truth about the previous night's attempt on Luis's life had been uncovered. It was orchestrated by his stepmother. Additionally, Anna's father had close ties with the stepmother. The assistant speculated that Luis's new wife, Anna, might be a spy. Luis's resentment toward Anna grew. On the other hand, Bess asked Anna to keep the incident of the night shift secret and, as an excuse, sent Anna a box of birth control pills. Luis's friend Jason asked him about the treatment from the previous night, mentioning that his junior was quite skilled. At that moment, Bess entered the room, and Luis, realizing that Jason knew her and that she was his junior, immediately assumed that the person who treated him last night was Bess. Anna begged her father for permission to divorce, but he refused. He threatened her, saying that if she dared to divorce, he would cut off her mother's treatment funds. Luis overheard the conversation between his wife and her father about divorce. In his anger, he tossed the divorce agreement at her. At this point, Anna no longer wanted a divorce. She was more concerned about her mother's health. Luis discovered the birth control pills in Anna's possession and angrily accused her of being shameless, sleeping with other men so soon after their wedding. Furious, Luis sent Anna to his business partner, Benno, and left without a word. Just then, Jason's message made Luis realize that the girl who performed the surgery on him was Anna. He immediately ordered his assistant to return to the bar and rescue Anna. Though Anna was only slightly injured, Luis noticed a birthmark on the back of her neck, which resembled the one he had seen on the woman from that night. Just as Luis was about to recognize Anna as the woman from the one-night stand, his assistant showed him a photo of Anna with a plastic surgeon. Luis misunderstood, thinking Anna had gotten the birthmark from a cosmetic procedure. To ensure the confusion, Bess had worked with the surgeon to create a similar birthmark and then had a photo edited to make it appear like Anna, ensuring Luis would never make the connection. Anna prepared to attend a medical gathering, dressed to the nines, only to find that Bess's male companion was none other than Luis. Realizing that Bess was Luis's lover, Anna deliberately made a sarcastic remark, wishing them a lifelong happiness, to discuss Luis. At the dinner, everyone noticed that Luis was paying extra attention to Anna while ignoring Bess. Anna received a message from her grandfather and left early, deliberately distancing herself from Luis. She didn't want others to know about their relationship. After offering tea to Luis's stepmother and grandfather, Anna was left behind for a conversation with her stepmother, who hinted at a potential alliance, encouraging Anna to join forces with her to take down Luis. Meanwhile, her grandfather scolded Luis, expressing that Anna was a good person and a lifesaver for him. He warned that Luis would regret it in the future, but Luis remained indifferent. Anna accidentally broke an important jade pendant of Luis's, further fueling his disdain for her. Her apology was met with indifference, and Luis's anger only deepened. Afterward, Anna recalled the pendant's appearance and realized it resembled the jade pendant she had lost when she was a child. The twisted fate between Anna and Luis had started long before. When Luis had been cruelly treated by his stepmother as a child, it was Anna who had saved him, though Luis was unaware of it. Anna was blacklisted from the medical community, a decision made by Luis himself, and no hospital would hire her. Jason, learning of Anna's plight, angrily criticized Luis for his shameless actions. Luis, provoking him, retorted, "You're only this agitated because you have feelings for her, right?" Jason responded, defending Anna's plight, saying that she was a victim. Her father was unfaithful, and her mother was gravely ill. Without work, Anna wouldn't be able to afford her mother's treatment. Luis coldly responded, "Let Anna come to me herself." Anna, desperate, lowered her head and admitted her faults. Luis, though verbally expressing disdain, showed his true feelings through his actions. When he tried to kiss Anna, she turned away. This act of defiance enraged him. He mocked her, saying, "You can sleep with other men on your wedding night, but you won't let your legitimate husband get close?" Luis then set a condition. "If you want to return to the hospital, we'll have to divorce." Anna refused, revealing that she had married him because of her mother's illness and that, while she wanted a divorce, she couldn't afford to do so. Luis, hearing this, only felt that Anna was deceiving him. Luis's assistant reported back to him with the findings on Anna's situation, confirming that her mother indeed had a heart condition. Luis asked, "What kind of person do you think Anna is?" In reality, Luis had fallen for Anna at first sight, though he was unaware of the depth of his feelings. Meanwhile, Anna was at home, feeling nauseous. She worried that she might be pregnant, but she had taken the birth control pills, so it seemed impossible. Distracted, she accidentally drank Luis's milk, prompting the petty man to immediately pull her into his arms. When Anna apologized, Luis didn't accept it, instead demanding that she accompany him to a social event that evening. While getting ready, Anna discovered that Bess was cheating on Luis with another man. As she debated whether to tell Luis, he showed up and stormed into the room, beating the man senseless. The man, in his rage, pointed at Anna, accusing her of instructing him to take compromising photos of Bess. Luis didn't believe Anna's explanation and immediately took Bess away. To punish Anna, Luis made a public announcement that her father's company was going bankrupt. After her father's bankruptcy, and with Anna losing her job, she couldn't afford her mother's medical bills. Just then, Anna received an offer for a new job as a pharmaceutical representative and prepared to attend a banquet. Luis mocked her for rushing to find other men, but Anna was enraged. She warned him, "If you ever touch my neck again, I will tell the media you're an abusive husband. As an abusive man, you've gone so far as to have someone slander your wife." Luis was unaware that Benno had been troubling Anna again, and was too blind to see that Benno had already teamed up with Bess. After being severely beaten by Luis, Benno maliciously accused Anna of seducing him and claimed she was very good in bed, which only fueled Luis's misunderstanding about Anna's disloyalty to their marriage. In reality, Anna had already escaped Benno's clutches, but Luis's prejudice against her was far too strong for him to believe. As Anna was preparing to leave, Luis blocked her at the door, mocking her restlessness. "You love to play, so as your husband, I guess I should sample your flavor too," he said. Anna struggled fiercely, and in the chaos, her towel slipped off. Luis became aroused but restrained himself, angrily shouting at Anna, "Get out. I never want to see this dirty body again." However, Anna did not expect that her new job as a pharmaceutical representative would involve accompanying clients for drinks. To her shock, the client was none other than Luis. When he saw his wife, his anger flared. He immediately took Alice in his arms, then threw Anna into the car. Unable to control his desires any longer, Luis gave in to his rage and kissed Anna passionately, no longer able to suppress the emotions he had been denying. Anna angrily rebuked Luis, questioning him, "Who do you think caused all of this? I had to go out and serve drinks because of you." She accused Luis of being the reason she lost her job, her father's company went bankrupt, and her mother's life was at risk. She had had enough and demanded a divorce immediately. However, Luis changed his stance, stating that she must repay the $200 million dowry before he would agree to the divorce. Anna laughed bitterly and taunted him, Could it be that you've actually developed feelings for me? Luis, feeling guilty, angrily cursed Anna before storming off. At the hospital, Anna underwent an examination and discovered that she was pregnant with twins. Upon hearing the news, Bess was furious. She sent Anna a cup of coffee laced with a sedative. When Anna regained consciousness, she found herself in Jason's car. Jason informed her that she had been lying in the parking lot. Just then, Anna felt pain in her abdomen and realized that Bess had performed an amniocentesis on her. Luis arrived and witnessed Jason tending to Anna. He immediately exploded with anger, berating the two of them. After Jason left, Anna confessed to Luis what Bess had done to her. Luis promised Anna that he would investigate the situation. Anna, knowing Bess's malice, invited Luis to accompany her to work, where they displayed public affection outside the hospital. Luis couldn't shake the feeling that Anna felt oddly familiar to him. After Anna left, his assistant curiously asked, "It looks like you've developed some feelings for your wife. Didn't you think she was dirty before?" Luis brushed it off, replying, "I've had other women before too." Bess, however, was far from giving up and devised a new plan. She performed another amniocentesis on Anna, stole the DNA from the twins, and sent the pregnancy test results to Luis, falsely claiming that she was pregnant. Her malicious scheme didn't end there. She intended to force Anna into a divorce. If Anna no longer had her mother to care for, would she still stay married? Before Bess's plot could come to fruition, Anna's half-brother got drunk and crashed into Luis's car. Seizing the opportunity, Bess bribed Luis's subordinates to find out that the car involved in the crash was registered under Anna's name and set her up to take the blame. The result was devastating. Anna miscarried one of the twins, leaving only one child alive. Jason saved Anna and urged her to divorce Luis, offering to take care of both her and her mother. At that moment, Anna began to waver. When Luis found Anna and Jason together, he was once again consumed with rage. Jason was taken away by bodyguards, and Luis grabbed Anna by the neck, demanding to know who the father of the child was. Anna, feeling nothing but bitterness, coldly replied, "I have had many men. I don't even know which one it was." Furious, Luis dragged Anna to the rooftop, questioning why she would harm Bess's child, and accusing her of planning the car accident. Anna realized that the car was registered under her name and deduced that the person driving while drunk was likely her brother. Luis sent Anna's brother to prison, while her stepmother, in alliance with the media, spread vicious rumors about Anna's cruelty. In retaliation, Anna publicly exposed her father's immoral actions, revealing that her stepmother was a mistress and that her half-brother was not truly her sibling. Furious, her stepmother shoved Anna to the ground. Witnessing this, Luis immediately ordered the crowd to disperse. At that moment, exhausted and defeated, Anna turned to Luis and asked, "Are you happy humiliating me? Please, let's divorce." Luis refused. He took Anna to the hospital, where she found that her mother had received treatment. Luis threatened Anna, saying that if she dared to divorce him, he would stop her mother's medication. He then threw Anna onto a bed, taunting her, "Bess just lost a child. You seem quite fertile. How about we have one for Bess?" Anna's resistance infuriated Luis, and he ordered that her food and water be cut off, locking her in isolation. Desperate, Anna tried to contact Jason for help, but Luis found out and beat Jason severely. Enraged, Anna slapped Luis, but soon passed out from the emotional and physical exhaustion. When she woke up, she kneeled before Luis, begging for a divorce, offering to leave everything behind. At that moment, Jason arrived with a phone, telling Anna that her mother had attempted suicide. Despite her efforts, Anna could not save her mother. In the end, her mother chose to take her own life to avoid being a burden on her daughter. In that moment, Anna's hatred for Luis reached its peak. Yet, Luis twisted the blame onto Jason, claiming that if Anna hadn't been involved with other men, he wouldn't have misunderstood her. Anna pleaded for Luis to spare Jason, but Luis simply ordered Anna to stay by his side. When Bess learned that Anna was still pregnant, she couldn't allow Anna to give birth to Luis's child. She deliberately provoked Anna, then told Luis about the pregnancy. Once again, Luis misunderstood and ordered Anna to have an abortion. Anna refused, and Luis took matters into his own hands, intending to force her. Anna fought back fiercely, grabbing a table lamp and striking Luis in her desperation. The plot intensifies with Bessa's new plan to break Anna. She reveals the truth about Anna's mother's death to Anna, telling her about the suffering Anna endured and knowing it would push her to the edge. The shocking news drives Anna's mother to suicide. This sends Anna into a fury, and after violently attacking Bess, Anna falls unconscious. Luis rushes her to the hospital. However, Benno, disguised as a doctor, injects Anna with a large dose of sleeping pills while she's still unconscious. By the time Luis realizes something is wrong, it's too late. Despite doctors' efforts, Anna slips into a permanent coma. At this point, Jason brings a doctor to Luis, the same one who had forged Bessa's fake birthmark and pregnancy checkups. It's here that Luis learns the shocking truth. He has been hurting the woman who saved his life twice, and has even unknowingly caused the death of their child. Devastated, Luis breaks down in sorrow, grieving for the harm he caused. In a vengeful rage, Luis orders Bess and her accomplices to be arrested and sent to Myanmar, where they are sold off. He swears to his comatose wife that he will care for her for the rest of his life. Luis then finds childhood photos of Anna and is stunned to realize that she is the same girl who had saved him as a child. Deep regret consumes him as he realizes the woman in front of him saved his life 3 times. A year later, Anna finally awakens, and Luis, overwhelmed with emotion, kisses her. This is a heartbreaking story. Do you think Anna and Luis's relationship will last?